Okay, I think it's about time, so I'm sure others will join. I did send a reminder last night as well to everyone. I hope everybody got that reminder and join us soon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everyone, whatever time zone you're joining from. You're welcome to the Nurse Mentors and Coaches Circle organized by NCO, NCO Healthcare Consulting. And I am your host today, Olayinka. I'm so delighted. I'm so happy that, we are here. I'm thrilled that you all are here, and I appreciate your commitment to advancing nurse mentorship and coaching. Today's agenda is really packed. We won't take your time, but it is very insightful. We have insightful sections, engaging discussions. We're going to have opportunities to connect with fellow mentors and coaches. The most important goal of this session is to share experiences, learn from one another, and develop strategies to enhance our mentorship and coaching efforts. First of all, I also want to say thank you for the enormous work you all are doing. We all are doing in the space of nursing mentorship and coaching. Sometimes it looks like a terrain that has not been treaded, but we are all working in that confidently, not without challenges. That's what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for everything you are doing. And without further ado, let's begin, the introduction. We're going to go to the introduction. So if I can just call on anybody based on what is available on my screen, just introduce yourself, what you do, where you're from. If possible, can we add to our name, maybe the country where we are joining from? If possible, I will do for mine now. If we start with that. Really good to know that, I'm connecting with somebody from Australia, connecting with somebody from the UK. Yeah, I'm just going to add Ireland. So I am connecting from Ireland. Yeah, so if you want to do the same as well for you, that'll be great. So thank you very much. We continue to do that. If we go to rename, I can do that for you as well if you are not able to do if we go on with the conversation. But I'm going to start for myself, and then others will key in. My name is Olayinka, and I'm an assistant professor in nursing. I lecture in aging and health in UCD here in Ireland. UCD is University College Dublin, School of Nursing and Midwifery and Health Systems. Apart from that's my full-time job, right? So I have a full-time job, but I also have a passionate niche and business, so to say, or company, NCO Healthcare Consulting. NCO comes from my nickname or my brand name, Nurse Coach Ola. So, and what we do basically in NCO is to, first of all, support healthcare organizations with healthcare operational management, recruitment, and training. And part of the training and recruitment is where, I focus on nurses as well, especially internationally educated nurses with their career development and helping them to have a rewarding health career. So that's me, and I'm your host today. So I'll pass the mic to Dina.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I'm Dina Poloni. I'm an Italian nurse in UK. I am a clinical trial nurse working part-time in London. I have 12 years experience in Italy, and I cover so many roles. But when I move in UK, I have to start from scratch. So anyway, now I'm clinical trial nurse, and on the other side, I do a business too, which is PMB Services Solution, which is traded by Nurses More, which is my brand. And I am a career coach for international nurses. I help them in their career success abroad. I'm also the European chair for Nurses in Charge, which is a non-profit organization. And I help also, I'm a chair of education and research there. I'm very passionate about nursing, international nursing, and research. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you. Let me pass the mic to Mayowa. We are happy.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and good day in your time zone. It's so good to be here. Like I said, I'm Mayowa Upola. I'm a registered nurse here in the UK. I recently moved to the UK last October, and I currently practice at the bedside stroke unit. So aside being a bedside nurse at the moment, I'm also a nurse career strategist. I focus on helping nurses navigate non-bedside opportunities. I believe that there are other ways nurses can, function aside working at the bedside. And I feel like that is where I come in to help them access such opportunities and also see how they can grow in their career in that particular area. Aside from being a nurse career strategist, I also write. And so that's just a summary of what I do. And it's so good to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayowa, for joining. And I'm just going to update your profile there that you're joining from the UK as well. I
Yeah.
hope I won't be the one joining from Ireland here. Okay, so I'll pass the mic now to Ibilola. Thank you, Ibilola. And thank you for joining. I know it's a hot time with you.
All right, thank you everyone for having me. And my name is Ibilola Kola. I'm a registered nurse in Australia. I'm a section academic with the University of Newcastle. I'm also a trainer and assessor in Australia, and I also work at the bedside. I have many hats. I also participate in research, and aside that, I love to just mentor nurses who are stuck to connect to opportunities beyond the bedside and see how they can have a better life and make meaning from their work as well. So that's what I do here.
Thank you so much, Ibilola. I see we are
That's
connecting
all.
dots already.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You can stay as long as you want and as less as you want. So we really appreciate the little time you spend with us. Thank you so much. So let me pass the mic to Udrak.
All right, good
Udrak.
evening, everyone. Good evening, Coach Ola. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
All right, so I am Nurse Kanta, Uda Abasin Kanta, Kanta for short. I'm a nurse mentor, and I'm also a preceptor in clinical preceptor for nursing students in College of Nursing, Akwa.
Okay. I think the network is messing up. Udrak, we can't hear you. Is it just from me? Okay. Udrak, your network is fluctuating there, so we're having difficulty hearing you. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm sure. Okay, she left. The network it's hitting up. Is Esin happy to introduce herself? Esin?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Good evening, Nurse Coach Ola. Thank you for hosting us. I'm Nurse Maswa Essien by name. I'm a registered nurse working in a government hospital in Nigeria. I'm a clinical instructor. I guide student nurses and intern nurses in the clinical area. Presently, I'm also running a program in post-basic nephrology nursing at National Hospital Abuja. So I'm also a writer. That's all about me for now. Thank you for hosting us.
Thank you so
Coach.
much. Thank you. Really good to hear from you. Okay. Let me look. I don't think we have any more here that we haven't taken, so we will continue. Just to say, like, I don't know, maybe I need to send another reminder. About 38 persons registered for this. I was thrilled with the number, and so maybe they would join along the line. So without wasting our time, as soon as anyone joins in, we will continue with the introduction. So I just have a few bits here, not necessarily like a keynote address, but just something that we can have like a background information. So thank you again, everyone, for joining and for introducing yourself. It's an honor to be here today, and I'm so delighted to be speaking with a group of professionals and experts in their, in their area, especially when it comes to nurse mentorship, coaching, preceptorship. I think I've heard that as well. So a bit of a background about why my passion about mentorship and coaching. So when I moved to Ireland, before I moved to Ireland, I was lecturing in Nigeria, and I was lecturing for 4 years. And prior to that, I've been more engaged, even as a student. I was the class rep throughout 5 years. So I'll be more involved with student leadership and student support and all that. So I think that kind of formed most part of my life. So when I moved to Ireland, I wanted to continue in that regards, even though I wasn't working in the academics. I started from a nursing home, moving to Ireland. I still wanted to keep pace with what was already part of me, which is teaching, coaching, supporting. And when you travel out, the other nurses back home will be looking up to you for support, for guidance, for advice and all that. So I was getting so much requests. I think there was a particular seminar or conference that I joined, and I was invited to speak there just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And a lot of people after that, I got a request. I actually made a public announcement that I am willing to mentor 50 nurses for free. I don't know maybe why I did that. I wasn't ready, but out of passion, and I just said, yeah, if you want to be mentored by me, just sign up. Do you know that I got over 150 requests, email, messages, and all that? Okay, Udak, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I
Thank
think the
you.
network kicked you out.
Yes, I think so too.
Okay, I'll call you back after this session so we don't have too much break.
All right, that's
Okay.
cool with me.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much. So I was overwhelmed, I wasn't prepared. I think I was just out of excitement or out of passion. And so what I did was to create a WhatsApp group, or it was a Telegram, to add everyone. And that was how the Nurse Mentorship Academy started. So I had a burning desire and passion to help nurses, to coach, to guide, inspire, and train. But over time, we had the first cohort, 2020, 2021, and then the second cohort. The first cohort was about 150, and then the second cohort was 50 because I decided to add a commitment fee. Because what I realized from the first cohort was there were too many people, but not everybody was responsive to tasks, to classes, and all that. And I had this whole structure that I wanted to deliver. I had everything in my mind. So sometimes it means like it just feels like it wasn't meeting up to maybe some other people's expectation. I didn't know their expectation. I was just ready to give out as much as I have. So I decided, okay, at the end of the day, about 50 of them graduated. So we had a big graduation ceremony, and I was really proud of myself. And the second cohort, I decided to put 5,000 Naira Nigerian currency as commitment fee. And of course, few people, I think I had about 50 put in, but only 25 graduated. So unfortunately, I started my PhD. So the demand, I could not meet up with the demand. And I spoke with few people, recorded sessions, and I put it up on the website. And actually, it was an innovation, made it like an e-mentoring program. So every classes, every webinars were recorded. It took a lot of time and money, to set up a learning platform, an e-mentoring platform, and a lot of research as well. But I think it wasn't well managed, and something happened. The website crashed. I was devastated. I was angry with myself and a lot of things. So, because I know I could not match up with the demand, because I started my course and working full time, doing PhD, family and all that. So I just decided to withdraw a little bit, and I could only take as much as I can, maybe 1 or 2 or 3. I upgraded myself, and then I upgraded the package and made it an executive nurse coaching. So only people who are really ready sign up for my coaching and my mentoring. I used that time to also develop a lot of courses as well and made it like premium, because I know I can't be available to everybody. I learned that in the hard way. So one significant challenge I faced was burnout. Like I said, I actually burnt out. As much as I wanted to continue mentoring, the demands were overwhelming. And I think this is a common issue many of us face. Balancing our clinical duties with mentoring responsibilities can lead to emotional and physical exhaustion. However, we need to recognize that this is a challenge, and that is the first step to finding solutions. Mentorship is crucial, we know, in nursing in several reasons, and we're going to also, talk about it. Firstly, I believe it ensures the transfer of knowledge and skills from experienced nurses to those entering the profession. Secondly, it provides emotional support and guidance. And I need to say this, that I didn't receive any direct mentorship, even though there are some of our lecturers then I can count. So that it's not so many that you look up to as role model. So it was more like indirect mentorship, right? People you can go to and just ask few questions, or some people who just like you, and they will ask you, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? And one if you talk, then they will say, okay, and they give you some bits of advice. So it was more like an indirect mentorship for me. So before I started Nurse Mentorship, I had 2 mentorship programs. The first one was coincidental. I was just invited to be a mentor, and the Black Black leaders. Okay, now I'm forgetting. Black Women Leaders in Nursing is a US-based organization. And we were kind of trained, like a train-the-trainer kind of thing. So we were kind of trained briefly about what to expect. So I have a mentee who is in the US. She's not a graduate. And it was more like a learning process. So you're mentoring, but I was learning the process while doing that. And I also joined the lifelong mentorship program of one of the politicians, councillors in Ireland here. It was lifelong, so nothing related to nursing. It was just lifelong. We talk about goal setting and so many topics like that, leadership. So what I did with that was bring everything that I've learned from these places and put it together to help me structure the Nurse Mentorship Academy. So that was how it all started. So again, that's my foundation. I know I'm going to, open the floor for us to talk. But as we move forward, I think it is crucial that we support one another. One thing I need to establish here is that over time, even since I started, a lot of people do us mentorship. You say, I'm a nurse mentor, I'm a mentor. I love that. I love that I could have other people say, I am a mentor, I am a coach. But I'm really looking forward to having, the way we have like a standard, and it is no more like a competition, but collaboration, and everyone is giving out the same value, might not be at the same level, but we know that this is the least you can get, like it's like a baseline, so to say. So everyone can build on whatever they approach. But I'm really looking forward to where we can have mentorship being I won't say a global standard, but there's a minimum, let me say minimum standard of delivering mentorship. And as nurses as well, we bring in that skill, that passion, caring passion, all the skills in nursing into mentorship. I think it's really, really important. So thank you so much for listening. I know I'm talking more about mentorship, but coaching is also, they're related. So I think we'll have a session where we're going to be talking about the differences between coaching and mentoring. And if you're both, just like myself, a mentor and a coach, where do you find what's the fine line between coaching and mentorship? What are the challenges, and how do we balance, the differences between being a coach and being a mentor? Because they're kind of related. And one of the things that I was a challenge for me was having that fine line, having the difference, knowing that this is the coaching program and this is mentorship. And some mentees now expect you to coach them. So, and if we don't draw that line, then we might have some, relationship challenges with our mentees. So there's difference. So we're going to explore that. I'm just going to pause a minute here. And so that's my keynote speech, so to say. I hope it makes sense. So thank you so much for your attention. And I look forward to further discussion now. Okay, Udrak, yeah, I'm going to invite you to introduce yourself. Thank you for joining in again.
All right, good evening, Coach Ola and every other nurse and nurse mentor and every other nurse coach. I am excited to be here, and I must say, for me, I'm grateful because I've seen a clique of people that are doing the same thing. So that means that we are sure of multiple results in the nearest future. Okay, so I am Udinkanta. I'm a nurse in Nigeria, registered nurse in Nigeria, and I'm also a nurse preceptor attached to College of Nursing at Akwa Ibom with Ikot-Ekpene campus as my focus area. And I feel so excited reaching out to nursing students, mostly in the clinical aspects. Okay, and it gives me joy to see their outcome for those that sit back and listen. So I felt there was great need to extend it and be more intentional about mentoring them. Okay, so that is what I do for now. I'm also getting into writing, okay, because I feel it's also one way to disseminate some information that I may not have the time to give, okay, and to a wider population in the community of nursing. So I'm grateful to be here. Thank you, everyone, for everything you do for the nursing community. We anticipate great results in the nearest future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry I didn't pronounce your name very well, but I think you pronounce it so well. Is it Udrak? I call it Udrak, but I think you pronounce it differently. I just want to be sure that I'm pronouncing it properly.
Yes, it's Udwak. So I was making a short one, UD Nkanta. Yes,
Oh,
my
okay.
name is Udwak
Okay.
Abasi Nkanta.
Okay.
So UD
Okay.
Nkanta for short.
Okay, so I'm right. Thank you so much, my Akwa Ibom people.
Very
All right,
well.
so without wasting our time, we are going to what? Are you Akwa Ibom, right?
Yes, I am. That's why I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
laughing.
Yes, my sister used to live in Akwa Ibom, Uyo. Okay, so thank you so much. Now we're going to move to open the floor for everyone to share their experiences. So very brief, maybe. I know we are very much here. Let me use that. We are very, the large room. So maybe we'll have time, like 5 minutes for this session. We'll have like, let me say 2 to 3 minutes per person. What challenges have you faced in your mentoring or coaching journey, and how have you been able to overcome them? So I would just call randomly if anyone is ready, or if you're ready, you can use the raise hand button and I'll call you. If nobody raises hand, and then I'm going to call randomly. Yeah. Okay, who wants to go first? We just start with Dina as well. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very
Okay.
much. First of all, thank you very much for sharing your experience. I think that sharing experience together, we can grow even faster. So thank you very much for sharing. And also because I can relate a little bit on your story. I've been a mentor for the Italian Red Cross when I was working as a nurse in Italy, and I get so much experience, and I have certificate by the Italian Red Cross. But then I have to move, so my certification was not recognized in UK. Anyway, I was focused on do my career in research, so I put aside my mentorship idea. It's just that I opened a Facebook group for I'm Italian, so when I move abroad to find information for myself, because there are not any at the time for me to use, I create this Facebook group for Italian nurses who want to move abroad. And this group grows so much. And people start to ask me questions. So basically, I come back to me a mentor just because it happened, because people saw that I have the experience, I have knowledge, and start to ask me questions. So in 2019, I started to do like a mentorship one-on-one that cost very little, like 20 euro or $20. And like you, I've experienced this overwhelming that I have people that asked me for one-on-one mentorship, maybe una tantum one, and I was not very able to deliver what I wanted because with 1 hour coaching session or mentorship session, you're not really able to help the other people on the other side. So the challenge that I start to experience, and I think it's still there, you can relate with me, is that considering mentoring and coaching in nursing is not really known yet. So for example, moving abroad, nurses think that you just need a recruiting agency necessarily, or for do your career, or maybe you don't really can do your career in nursing. So it's a new realm, something that it just happened. They're just starting this mentoring, coaching in nursing. So there is not really an audience yet. I mean, there is an audience, but this audience that doesn't know that they need this service for you. So the challenge I think I'm experiencing is actually get the message to people, to let them know that if we mentor them, if we coaching them, they actually can improve in their career very quickly and more consciously. So the step that they do further, they're actually more focused, targets, and then they don't waste time, they don't waste money, because they just move from one workplace to another without even know what they're doing. So my challenge at the moment, I think, is to get the nurses to let them understand that they need mentorship, I think. And you're right when you talk about difference in mentorship and coaching, and sometimes they are related. And I agree with you that we have to set boundary at the beginning and let our client or mentee know that what's their goal, what they want to achieve from our service. And we can differentiate at the very beginning of our service before encounter problem or misunderstanding after there. I hope I answer your question. Thank you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for leading in that way. Yeah, the challenges are real. And like you said, so I stumbled at somebody's LinkedIn post, and she was talking about business or finding the right market and so on. She said something, I hope I remember clearly, that sometimes there is a market, there is a gap. We know that there is gap. There is a gap, but there may not be a market for that thing. So most of the time we feel, well, since there is a gap in mentorship and coaching, then I want to start. But it might not be the right market for it. So I've realized that over time as well in mentorship, especially for nurses, that even though the gap is there, but your audience, which is the markets, they might not be ready for whatever you want to give out. And that comes with a lot of frustration. When you have a lot to give, but people are not recipient about to it, or they don't really value it as much as you value it. So it is how do we now sell this value? How do we promote this? How do we make them know that there is so much value in what we have to, offer? So, and that is where branding comes in, and consistency and all of that as well. And having more mentors, having more people talk about it again, will make people, people are talking about this, then that means it's very important.
Exactly.
And results, showing results. So if there is no result, people will question what you're doing, of course. So people see positive results of, and see that you're exceptional, you keep being exceptional, and you're not basic. Of course, they will buy into whatever you're sharing. So thank you so much for sharing, Dina. We have a lot to learn. Okay, I'm going to pass the mic to Ibilola.
Thank you, everyone. Please, I actually missed that question because I went off.
Okay, so the question is, we open the floor for you to share your experiences regarding mentorship and coaching, if you are a coach. Then what challenges have you faced in this journey, and how have you overcome them, if you have?
Okay, for me, I think my own coaching session or whatever, I just started. So, but I've been experiencing some challenges because, like Dina said, even though I think people are just hearing about coaching and mentorship, and they're finding it difficult they feel like, oh, they can actually develop their own nursing career, and but I think the problem is like what you said, Coach Ola. I think there's need for us to start showing people results. For me, my own coaching is more of, I'm a transformational coach, okay, and I believe in results. And once people start seeing results, then probably they can start coming. The markets, we have people out there and they need help. And I think another challenge we are having is that, being that I'm a Nigerian nurse, I feel like a lot of people who are coming into my DM are most Nigerian nurses. And even though some of them feel they need that coaching or that mentorship program or services that you want to offer them, I don't think the mindset is ripe enough. Like, they're not ready, because the level at which I'm going to coach you is actually different from from their own level. So at the end of the day, whatever I'm going to pour in or whatever I'm going to give to them, I don't think they will really appreciate it. And I think that is the problem I'm having at my own hand now, because in as much as I want to help people, and like Dina has said, you're trying to maybe coach someone for an hour, and you're trying to point, and not just there. Or probably you're even giving them some services at a very discounted price, but they're not just giving in everything. I think people are aware that they need some transformation, or they need to move forward in their career, but I don't know. I think the mindsets of our people or of nurses is still very, or will I say that the information around coaching, I think it's still not embraced. Is not embraced enough. And imagine somebody book maybe through Calendly, and you're happy, like you want to talk to the person, and they don't show up, and you are, they don't show up, and you are also trying to and you have other things you're doing as well, but because you really want them to have that result, that you have had, or you're trying to help them to be a better version of themselves, and they're not just there. So I think that is my own problem I am facing And another problem I'm facing is that, despite, because for my own coaching, I have a lot of tools that I want to bring in to help people to be transformed. It's not about coaching for me, it's not about just talking, okay? For
Yeah.
me as a coach, the difference between a mentor and a coach is a mentor, we have a mentee. Sometimes you can give strategies, you can even help them to do things, you can even help them to get a job. But as a coach will only give you the tips. A coach will hold you hand in hand, all right, to to get things to be done. But a mentor can help you, but a coach will just give you the strategies that will help you to get that result that you desire. And sometimes I feel like when you charge people to, sometimes they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. So for me, I think that is still where some of the challenges I am facing right now. But I feel like this meeting is very important because it's an eye-opener for us to see how we can bridge the gap. And also, in as much as I also want to be helping maybe international nurses or whatever, I still believe in Nigerian nurses and how can we help them? How can we help them to achieve better results and to be a better version of themselves as well?
Okay. Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that, Ibola. The challenges are unique and, they're kind of cut across as well. Can you hear me? So they kind of cut across, and one thing, funding, of course, people paying for services, and the difference between establishing that coaching and the coaching and mentorship boundary is really important. People not showing up, yeah. And sometimes having that clash of, even from yourself, sometimes you're scheduled and something just come up, you're not able to meet up with some meetings or with some schedules. I do feel guilty sometimes, but I just have to prioritize others, again, that if it's not a paid service, then I will still prioritize me, so to say. That might sound selfish, but I believe sometimes we have situations like that. So, but people not showing up, it's normal, or not returning the task or assignment. Again, just because you mentioned Nigerian nurses, and I'm just going to share my experience here as well. The first cohort, like I said, we had 250 or even one, I can't remember, massive. But people run to you first because of what they can get from you, right? And I tell you, in the first few weeks, if they get that information, most people sign up for my mentorship. I knew that was because they wanted to know how to relocate to Ireland. That was their goal. But my own thinking was, or what I wanted to offer was all around career development support and all this kind of, but they only wanted one thing, information about how to relocate to Ireland. And as soon as they get that information, you won't see them again. So that was one of the challenges I faced as well. So again, it's about meeting the need, knowing the exact need of our audience, and meeting, providing information, resources or so to match up that need. All right, thank you so much. So I'm going to pass the mic to...
Hello, Ola. Please, can I say something? Because
Please,
I
go
will
ahead.
be stepping out. Okay.
Okay, good.
So my own experience actually started from when I was just a regular nurse in the hospital, okay, taking care of nursing students when they come for postings. It was not really a big thing for me. I just felt I have to help these people get their practicals very well. So I was now nominated by the principal then to now become a nurse preceptor. So I think that was last year when we now had a formal training by the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So that training really opened my eyes. And also, when you're licensed to do a thing, you do it with all amount of energy. So I got into it, and with the energy we had from the energy we're given, right? So putting it to work, I saw that there is great need for these people to know beyond the going to school, coming for practicals, and then graduating as nurses. So, and for me, I had always honestly seek to see that nursing students don't just come out like nurses at the end of the day and lose who they are. Okay, so that is what made me have this group called the Wholesome Nurses. So I was just telling them things, and from there, although I'm new on the nurse mentor thing, I'm yet to put in charge. I'm yet to do all of that. But I feel that even the group I manage, the response is low. Okay, they just feel excited at the beginning to join, and then later on you would make some posts, call for some meetings, have some discussion, and you would see a particular set of people still being interested in doing it. Some persons will, after a while, come back to tell you, hey, okay, nurse, I was able to do this, do that. But on the group, they will not say anything. So I guess maybe there are some people that don't respond online to you, and they just pick what you're doing. They just pick it, and that is the challenge. I feel sometimes discouraged that you're putting all your energy to see that they're doing well, but yet the response is low. So for me, I feel a bit discouraged on that, given to the platform that I manage. But doing the real coaching, the real mentoring this time, like having a group specifically for that, I'm yet to. So I'm still learning. That's why I'm here. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Udra Kabasi. I think it's really important. And I can resonate with you as well with that, your group. And it's very important that we ourselves, like, what you're doing. And I always say this, that you need to build yourself first before you start building a brand. And people will come after what you have, after, the value that you have, so to say. And again, I know discouragement can come, but knowing that you are not for everybody, the service you're providing is not for everybody. So not, even though you have about 30 people coming, not all the 30 will buy into it or will stick with the program up to the end. So yeah, I think it's important to know that. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, I'm going to pass the mic to Mayowade. I think Celine joined. Hi, Celine. Celia. Sorry. Hi, Celia, you're welcome. Thank you for joining.
Can you hear me?
Hi, yes. So do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hold on one second.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, Celia. Hi.
Hi.
These are my LinkedIn activists.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Sorry I jumped
Hi.
on late. I was saving a life.
Okay.
So I don't know what you want me to tell you, but I'm here in the States, Rochester, New York. I am a nurse practitioner, and been doing that for about 12 years, been a nurse for about 20, do a lot of activism around, human trafficking, food insecurities, workplace toxicity, is my thing that I've been focusing on. And that's pretty much kind of where I do some coaching and mentoring, because I know that's happening to practitioners, when there's an issue with hierarchy and not really knowing how to deal with that. And in terms of Ireland and why I wanted to kind of get connected with this group, I've been to Ireland I've been there 4 times, and I would move there if they paid more. So I'm very interested in connecting and doing more things globally.
Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
It's really, I was glad when I saw you on the list. I was like, oh, good. Thank you so much. So the other thing, but now that you're talking, I know other people have been here, but I'm going to call you later on. We're sharing our experiences with mentoring and coaching, and then the challenges and how we overcome them. So I'll call you in another bit now. So let me pass the mic to Mayowa, just in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So I think for me, listening to everyone share their experience is actually kind of validating things for me as well, because it's like you literally walked in my shoe, and I feel like, oh, then I'm not alone in all this, right? So I can relate to everything that you have shared. And at the point, I remember there was maybe like few weeks ago, and since I'm also new into coaching, I got so frustrated about the whole thing, and I was like, I had to like pull down the free one-to-one call I had on my profile on LinkedIn, because number one, I got frustrated not because of, oh, there are lots of people reaching out, but I feel like people don't even value what your time, the worth of your time. Let me put it that way. Because I know I have had like series of people book a call, and then they end up not showing up for the call. And most times these calls are actually like me sacrificing my time. There are times I come back from night shifts and I'll not be able to rest because I'm preparing to go on a call with someone who are like I'm believing this person will turn up, and they eventually end up not showing up for the call. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, oh, what is going on? And it's not even one incident, it's not twice, it has happened several times. And another challenge that I also found is that people are not really willing to, the ones that actually turned up, they want you to do things for them, right? So they're not ready to take actions, they're not willing to commit to what you're even sharing. I've had instances where, and at a point, like you said, people also like reach out to you because they want to relocate to the country you are. And that is not the goal of me putting out my brand on LinkedIn. And I remember when I was talking with the other person that I work with, and I told him, the goal of me coming up on LinkedIn to talk about what I do is not to help nurses relocate to the UK. I believe that there are lots of information online on YouTube everywhere about how to, become a registered nurse in the UK. So I feel like that would be like a misplaced priority for me. But again and again, I keep getting messages like that, and I feel bad most of the time because I had to turn people down, because I feel like it is just a waste of my own resources and time to be talking about this thing when we have a lot of information on it. And that is also another thing. And then I think location is also a factor that influences the perception of nurses about mentorship. I found out that a lot of nurses in the developed country are actually more open to, the idea of coaching than nurses in the, maybe let's say, Africa. And truthfully, a lot of nurses in Africa, for example, they actually need help, and you can see it in the sincerity of the questions they ask when they reach out and things like that. But you realize that maybe because they want just a quick fix to things, maybe that's why they're not really receptive to that. But that's one thing that I noticed, that the way a nurse from another country, and another thing is, the reason why I mentioned location being a factor is you can get a nurse who is in Nigeria, for example, in the United States, reach out to you about something, and then they are willing to take action immediately on that particular thing. Unlike if the same nurse were to be in maybe any African country. So I feel like location is also and an important factor. And then I think at the end of the day, it boils down to the willingness to invest into, personal transformation, because that is also the core of what I do. I believe that when there's a transformation that happens to you within yourself and the kind of person you are, it kind of influences the way you show up in your career as well. So I believe that lots of nurses need to come to realization of why they need to undergo personal transformation, and that will help them to, achieve their desired goal in their career. So these are just few challenges. I don't want to again go into all the others that you've discussed earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Ibilola. Very, very interesting. And thank you for engaging. And your concerns, your challenges are valid. I'm sure you've listened to others as well. I think somebody has joined us. Joy Ibialo, you're welcome. I'm going to call you later on if you're still here to share your experiences, introduce yourself, and then share your experience together like that. Let me pass the mic to who hasn't spoken here. Okay, I think I'll come to Celia now, if you're happy.
Yeah, so you wanted specifically to know about the challenges that I have as a coach?
So your experience as a coach. I don't know if you're a mentor as well, but if it's just coaching, your experience so far, what it's inspired you, and what are the challenges and how you've been able to overcome them.
I would say in the time that I've been doing it, what's inspired me to continue is the fact that I know that there are a lot of people that are impacted by workplace toxicity. And, people are in my DMs messaging me, talking about it. I'm seeing a lot more posts everywhere about it. So I know it's an issue. I'm in multiple groups that continue to bring up the issue. I've had my own experience with it. And some of the coaching that I do now was based on me kind of using myself as a case study in terms of what are some of the things that I did that I know worked and made the environment a little bit better. And then how I could take that and, educate others about it. So that's pretty much people telling me that I'm giving them value, people resharing my posts, people messaging me. And sometimes even if they're not following you and they see you, they'll say, hey, this is really helpful information. I think one of the biggest challenges of building coaching is time, because you have to be so consistent with putting out your content, adding value, and then the closure in terms of once connecting and kind of making that sale and standing on your prices to say, okay, this is what I charge, so that can be a little challenging. The other piece is, when you do book a call and you actually get on a call with somebody, that trying wrapping it up for me, it's just like, okay, you didn't want to, in my mind, I'm thinking you didn't want to pay for the hour, but so you booked the 30-minute free call, but now you want to keep going for an hour. It's like, I have to learn how to wrap that up and package it in a way that I'm not disrespectful to them, that they feel like I'm giving them value, but they don't feel rushed and they feel like they're getting some solutions in a way. So I think those are some of the challenges for me. And then more as you get into this space, you're seeing more and more people doing it. So it's like, oh my God, how am I going to show up differently? So that, so now you start seeing the competition, and you do tend to see that. And even though you provide something different, you do get a little feel away, as I would say, I'm from Jamaica. So I would say you feel a way about it, So I would say those would be some of the challenges.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Celia. And I know that in the US there is more like this awareness about coaching. And I think I got some of my drive from my relationship. I have a lot of US connects. In fact, at the time I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in Ireland. I think I'm supposed to be in US, because most of my professional connection and you just connect with certain people are in the US. At the time I said, I think I have to relocate, because it's like Ireland is undermining my capacity and my capability. So I know like the awareness about coaching, a lot of people are buying into it in the US compared to us in Ireland or in the UK as well. So it's even better in the UK than Ireland. You can see I'm the only one here. I'm supposed to have other mentors from Ireland here, or coaches. So it's really important. And I really want us to talk about this maybe in the breakout session about how to charge for services, and sometimes what we don't know what's the appropriate service, fee to charge. And we don't know if other coaches are charging less, that's why they're having more people, or other mentors are charging, so it's again, what value are we giving for what we're charging? And when do we start charging? In certain cases, some of us will start for free, do free stuff, and then try to monetize it. And I really want us to discuss around that as well. And your area, Celia, is really, really unique. Toxicity, a lot of people don't even know. And I don't think anybody will want to subscribe to my course here if I'm doing anything relating to that, because you find other organizations who are not nurse-based offer the same service even for free as part of maybe an add-on to the service that they provide, so to say. So well done, well done.
Thank you.
Great. I should ask you to tell me about my tax and all that.
Yeah, let me know.
Okay, I think we could do some comparison and see. I was reading this article by Rebecca Love about nurse reimbursement, and I think you need to go around globally and not just the US. Other countries like here, Ireland, we're not talking much about nurse reimbursement, and I think this discussion needs to surface. So let's come back to challenges. Who else is here? I haven't spoken. Okay, I think we have more people join now. Welcome, everyone. Mas Essien, are you ready to share?
Yes, good evening, Coach Ola. Good evening,
Yeah.
everyone. Concerning mentoring, yes, as other speakers have rightly said, nurses are not ready for mentoring, especially in part of this country I am, Nigeria. But I focus on student nurses because I believe it's good to catch them early in the profession. Because as I do tell them, it's not enough to come in and give care to a patient. You have to connect with your patient emotionally. You have to connect with your patient, that's how the human relationship connection. That's the aspect I coach them on. That a patient can only trust you to care for him or her when you are able to relate, respect, and this inclusion and diversity thing, you bring it into care. And I also mentor them how to break the ice between patients. Sometimes a patient will say, I don't want student nurses to touch me and all of that. So I mentor them on ways to get close to a patient, to gain the patient trust. So that's the area I work, because I know for registered nurses that are already practicing, they're not ready for mentoring. They're not ready. They will just tell you there's nothing new you want to tell me. But the student nurses are receptive. So that's the area I concentrate on, because I discovered that when student nurses come into clinical area, yes, they are eager to carry out procedures. They are eager to do other things. But then, if they are not connected, they are not able to communicate and build a relationship, the things might go wrong. So I always tell them, this is the way you do it, that's the way you do it. And I've been able to form a WhatsApp group that we chat every now and then. And I also introduce them to career and professional courses, like free courses, like the one we just finished was organized by University of Washington on leadership. A handful of them registered for it. So that's the area, because when I was coming up in nursing, I didn't have such opportunities. So now that I have such opportunities, I don't want to keep it to myself. For those ones that knows that they want to go far in this profession, so I bring them in, and they are very, very receptive. So for the challenges, for now I'm making it free, because I know if I put a price tag, a lot of them will fall back. So I'm making it free. Maybe as time goes on, maybe as a group, as I keep getting others to join, I might put a price tag in the future. But for now, I'm making the information free.
Very good. Thank you so much, Essien, for that. Really appreciate it. And it's not easy dealing with students, of course. So thank you for the sacrifice and the impact you're making. I'm going to pass it to Joy Rubialo. And I think, we'll just take that so that we move. After Joy, we'll move to the breakout session. And just before Joy speaks, I sent in a link there to a Mentimeter just to get some of our responses and survey. It'd be good if you take time to participate. Thank you so much. Is Joy ready?
Okay, good evening. I came in late, so I would actually like to hear the question that was asked.
So you're introducing yourself and your experience in mentorship or coaching and the challenges you faced and how you overcome in 2 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you so much, Nurse Ola. I am Joy Obialo. I'm a registered nurse and midwife here in Nigeria. And I run a platform, Nursing Beyond Books. I am actually targeted at nursing students, also nurse midwives, and early career nurses. The targets as a nursing student, I just graduated in December. As a nursing student, I realized that there were nursing students were not open to opportunities concerning mentorship, coaching, and activities that are beyond the bedside. They had no knowledge about it. So I decided to create a platform where they could come in, get speakers who would speak concerning particular issues that would open up their minds to the opportunities that they have as nursing students and also early career nurses. And for me, it's been free all through. We run webinars, and we also intend on running physical meetings in nursing schools, starting from here. I'm up north in Nigeria. And for me, the challenge has been, I would say, a lot of nurses do not think they need mentorship here. So getting a population that would follow through, like when you organize a webinar or a session, getting a large population to participate, it's just like, oh, what value will I get from this particular session? But subsequently, we have been getting actually an increase in participants. And we also we run a Telegram group and also a WhatsApp group and also a page on LinkedIn. So I noticed that a population have actually come to understand that actually I need mentorship. Their eyes has been opened to certain opportunities. So that has been the experience for me.
Okay, and how have you overcome, if you have?
Okay, for the part, I decided to take a certain population of, I realized I was making it so open, like all members of the platform could actually, if you want mentorship, it was just an open platform. Well, I realized it was better to ask them who actually needed mentorship, making it one-on-one on a different group, so we could actually follow and be accountable. So that was the solution for me. And I realized that those who saw the effect of what they had been learning could actually speak to others and said, oh, just come join in. Look at the changes I have seen, look at the things I have learned. So word of mouth has actually been very effective for me in my own path and what I've been doing.
Oh, great. Thank you so much, Joy, for joining. I think I've seen a couple of what you yourself and Blessing, your twin sister, right, are doing. That's brilliant. And even starting as a student, I think that's remarkable. Thank you so much. So again, we're going to close this session and then go into the breakout room. But before then, if you just take a minute to continue to respond to the Mentimeter. So you might see a link that says go to the next. There are about 3 questions there, and the questions are just what challenges are. We've talked about it, but I just wanted to put it in a word cloud format. And then what's your greatest strength, and what do you do, mentoring, coaching, or both as well? And what do you think is the best practice when it comes to mentorship? Okay, so we're going to go to breakout session. I know we only have, if you're joining us, we're closing this session, but you can still introduce yourself and share whatever, any experience you want to share. Just put in the chat box, please. Thank you. I'm mindful of our time. So we're going to breakout session, just like I said. And yeah, I'm going to repost the link. Maybe, Mayowa, if you just continue to repost for me so that people will see. Okay, so let me take us to the breakout session. And for the breakout session, I think we are 10 here, so we can do 2 persons per breakout session. And we're just going to be talking about different topics. We have four groups, yeah. Time management and burnout prevention. So just talk about specifically, we've talked generally, so specifically how we can address this, time management and burnout prevention. And then the other group will take effective communication. So maybe I would just say group 1, whichever group you are in, group 1, time management and burnout prevention, if you want to take notes. And then group 2 would take effective communication strategies that you're using, either paid or not paid, in your coaching or your mentoring, just to share experiences and learn from one another. And leveraging technology for mentorship, if you are using that, what tools do we use? I remember somebody mentioned about Calendly, to set up scheduling and all that. I had to learn that as well. So how do we go about that? What are the tools that we can use that make mentoring or coaching easy for us? And the last group, I think I'm just going to add this. Maybe we should just make it three groups, but each group need to talk about how to support Black nurses and midwives. I know that it's not necessarily for Black nurses, but I'm adding this cohort because it is really important. I think that Black nurses and midwives don't respond. They don't even want to own up that they need this. And even when they need, we have few people supporting them. So we should just talk generally about that. So I'm going to just give me 1 minute while we continue to use the Mentimeter, and I'm going to set up the breakouts room now. Okay, so group 1, we can look at, I think Mayowa is putting it in the group chat to know what you're discussing per group. Okay, so the breakout session is open now. Okay, Joy. So Joy, technology-wise, what do you think? So I will use like Calendly for meeting setup. I use that. I use the free version. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Joy?
We can hear you, but it's not the full group.
June. Benin City, Asaba, and only give as the host center for West Barcelona. The semi-final form of the next competition.
So welcome back. Okay. Just. Okay. I'm just trying to take out this noise. All right, so we're welcome back. I'm sure it was a very short time. We have a lot to talk about. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So can we have each group give a feedback to the main group? So we start with group 1. Just a summary in 1 minute of what was discussed in your group.
From what I gather, in terms of things that improve time management is, prioritizing yourself, trying not to take on too much. Someone said, scheduling appointments ahead of time, getting someone else to work with them in terms of having some kind of staff or another person, maybe executive assistant or something, to help work with them to offload some of the work. In terms of the burnout, really being able to stay in the here and now and not think too futuristic, not taking on too much. In terms of, understanding that there's going to be competing priorities and you have to prioritize, what's best for your life at that point. Yeah, so those are some of the takeaways that I got.
Yeah, thank you so much, Celia, for sharing. I'm sure we can all explore this more, personalize it to what suits us as mentors and coaches when it comes to time management and preventing burnout. But most importantly, we know that we need to prioritize ourselves first, because you can't give what you don't have. And if you're no longer there, if you get burnt out or sick, other people, they will go on with their lives, or they'll probably go to another coach or another mentor. So, and this saying that who cares for the caregiver? Sometimes I say, who coaches the coach, or who mentors the mentor, and who looks after the mentors and mentees, because we are all looking after their career, their whatever area that we are focusing at, but we also need to look after ourselves, which is very important. And I do hope that this mentors coaches circle will provide that support that we need going forward. Okay, group 2, thank you.
Moyo, you want to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go for it. Because I actually did more of listening, so I'll do the talking now. And we talked about effective communication, and Gina highlighted a few points that were very insightful for me. And she talked about asking the right questions to get to the root cause of what the client's problem is, and that way you're able to understand what their pain point is and how you can come in to help them. And she also highlighted the importance rather of asking open-ended questions, right? So that you will also able get to know what the exact issue is, and then using the 6 whys, to ask questions, and then the importance of active listening. So because at times you might feel like, oh, I have a lot to share, but at times all you need to do is just step back to listen to what they have to say. So that's just a summary of what we discussed.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you, group 2. Group 3, just 1 minute. Joy and food drug.
Okay, for group 3, we are to discuss on leveraging technology. And Nurse Udwak had issues with network, but I had a session with Nurse Ola, and she spoke about using Calendly and the importance of getting the right platform for the number of people you would be holding a session with. That's from Zoom to using StreamYard, that's directly stream to your YouTube channel. So that was actually, our session was quite brief, but those are the things we discussed.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I suppose in a larger group now, we can always expand on this as well to see what technology am I leveraging on or tools that will enhance my coaching or my mentoring. And the thing is, you can always learn this. So I use Canva a lot, and I think last week I clocked about 2,000 designs on Canva. Canva actually gave me an award for that. You know, having used Canva for how many years, 2,000 designs. And so we can learn all of some of these things. You might have to pay to learn some things. Calendarly, if you have a lot of, people coming in, you might need to go to the pro session so that you can automate so many things. And I'm using the free version now because, I'm still providing a lot of free. So, and just exploring, and I hope that we can also share some of these tools that we use as well. If you want to drop it in the chat box just to save time as well on the tools that you use that has been helpful for you. And, like the platform we talked about, if you're using WhatsApp, I know people use WhatsApp call for, I'm very sure from Nigerians use a lot of WhatsApp calls. And so they hold meetings on WhatsApp. I don't know how to do that. I don't really enjoy that. So just do what works best for your audience. That is the most important thing. And sometimes I've tried StreamYard, and my Nigerian clients would not know how it works, and it was very frustrating. So just use what's best for your audience. Dina, you were going to say something.
No, I was about to tell which technology I use, but you say in the chat, so I can
yes,
put in the
we'll
chat. Sorry.
We'll just drop in the chat. Thank you so much. All right. So we are heading on, running up shortly. So rather than having a whole talk on best practices in mentorship, so I put that in the Mentimeter, and we can just take some moments and just use the link again and go to what are the best practices in mentorship, and we can keep dropping that while we go to the question and answer session. I just want to be sure that you have access. I'm going to share the link again, and we can answer that. So this is another technology that we are using, right? Use of technology. Okay. So what are the best practices in mentorship based on your experience yourself? We can just continue to put that in. So I'm going to add on to the interactive question and answer. We have about 5 to 10 minutes. We are beyond our time now, but we didn't start exactly for. So question and answer session. So I really want to thank every one of us, honestly, for our engagement and not minding the numbers. So if you have any specific question, please, you can use the raise hand feature, or you can type them in the chat if it's convenient, and then somebody here will address that. Thank you. Okay, I think I will start maybe to inspire. It's about charging fee. I think I've asked that again. When do you start charging? And how much is much? Is too much, and how much, like how to charge for your services? Because sometimes I feel like maybe if you charge too much, you might scare away or chase people away from your course or from your program that you're providing. So when do we start charging? So to say, I don't know if anybody can help me.
Can I say something? Or is in the chat?
Please.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, please.
As I said at the beginning, I just charge very little, and I have so many people that come for my help. They pay the 20, 30, how much I ask for, but I couldn't really help them because they may book for 1 or 2, 3 sessions. So my work was not consistent on them because they didn't even know what actually we're looking for. So at some point I decided, but this is my personal experience. I don't want to influence anyone. But so I spent $8,000 to do a program for learn how to do online courses and how to sell the service. So I learned so much in the program. I invest on myself. And I understood that I decide to give some stuff for free. I redirect the people that are looking for me through technology and through form. So only who really want my service, is a high ticket service now, come to me ready for the call and ready for the service. So I don't lose time. While before I spend a lot of time in call and people didn't show up and maybe they were not happy about the price, or I get overwhelmed because I have so many calls but not really able to address anyone. Now I got high ticket service only for few people that are ready for me, and for the rest of the people still helping them for free, only for the amount of time that I decide to dedicate for them. Because I've got a life too. I've got 3 kids, I've got my job, I have a chronic condition. So I'm still, as I'm volunteering for the Italian Red Cross 11 here in Italy, now I volunteer for international nurses. So I'm thinking in that way. I volunteer for them and I dedicate my time while I'm sharing my things. But I dedicate my time like a client only for those that are ready to go for my service. And I feel much better in terms of well-being too. I mean, I don't feel overwhelmed anymore. I'm in peace with myself.
Very well. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think from what you said, we can distinguish between a free service and the package that comes with that, and then a premium, a standard one, and then maybe a premium one. So a VIP, so to say, and with that, we can charge income. People will be able to fit in whichever box suits them. Yeah, so I think that's a good one. I hope we take note of that. Any other person want to add to funding, or you have any other question or comments or something as contribution, so we can take that this session? We have just a few minutes to go. Okay, no question. We're all perfect. Okay, so I think maybe I should just ask one more question. So I saw in the challenge that some people put up there, that's clients canceling calls. So when a client can close the call, just abruptly or something. So how do we retain clients, so to say? How do we retain our clients? Or what are the things that we can do to retain them? We know that they ask for this service, but then again, how do we retain our clients, if that makes sense? I don't know if Celia would like to give some expertise there, being a successful coach.
Thanks. I guess I would say how to retain them, continuing to engage them. I would say continuing to engage them, even if you're doing a coaching program, and you keep getting like specific questions around one specific topic. Maybe you could say, okay, well, let me do just like a community discussion on this one specific topic that everybody has this question on, or maybe do a post specifically to address some of those concerns. So they don't always feel like it's about money, and that you're still providing them that value. So I would definitely say, that engagement. And if there are any like items, like participant items that you develop that you feel like, okay, I've pretty much coached these individuals already, but now I've developed a new template or a new thing that I feel like would be helpful for them, then maybe sharing that at a discounted rate, or maybe, for your previous students or attendees, then maybe you can give them that for free. So they feel like, oh, okay, this is a community, when we have additional resources, they're going to get access to it, or even that, like maybe they get first access to it because they've already been in the program. So they feel like it's some elite thing. So those would be some of the ways.
Okay, thank you so much. There's so lots that we would have loved to be talking about, but I'm also mindful of our time. So I think that would be it about the interactive question and answer. I just want to ask it because, like I said, we have a lot to share. If it's okay to create maybe a LinkedIn group that will be for nurse mentors and coaches, and we can have, or be another way of supporting one another as well. And this is my suggestions. I don't know if this is X-ray or exists before, but if you know of any that already exists, there's no point reproducing another group. But if not, we can always create like a LinkedIn nurse mentors and coaches group where we support, ask questions, and learn from one another. If you're open to that, you can just drop it, just say yes or something in the chat group. And the other thing is maybe some getaway, like we're talking about taking care of ourselves. So for those that know, recently I took a group of professionals to Morocco. We just had three nights of rest. So we call it reset, activities, games, and networking. I think we also need that. So if you're open to that as well, you can just let me know in the chat box, and we can continue this conversation as well in the LinkedIn group. And, if you have a post, then you can post there, and then we repost, and we just encourage and support each other. So I think that with that, we'll come to the end of this discussion and reflection time. And I hope you really had, I hope it was really worthwhile for you to join. This is my first, and I didn't even know what was going to come out of this. I just followed my mind, my prompting. So thank you for your active participation today. We've had insightful discussion, though brief. We've shared valuable experiences. And most importantly, I'm getting here to know that what I'm going through, or the challenges I'm experiencing is not just me. I'm cut across and learning from other people of how they were able to overcome as well. So I want to encourage that we stay connected and support one another in this journey. I'm going to be sending a post-event survey via email. Hopefully that you can complete that. I'll really, really love that. So thank you. I don't know if anybody wants to leave a 30-second last remark. You can use the chat box, or you can unmute and talk.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed. It was very insightful, and I really appreciated you took the time to do this. It was really needed from my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Coach Olad. This is very valuable, and thank you for your time. And I think this is an eye-opener for every nurse coach or mentor out there. I think we should plan a conference and let people see the need for us. Okay, and probably we'll go on a vacation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we could do something, conference and vacation together, but not much of talking or coaching. It's more of connecting and networking, so to say, and maybe promoting each other's brands, and so something like that. Yeah.
Yes.
And we do like award, and we do like red carpet, and all of that. I'll bring
Yeah,
out the
that would be
fun.
awesome. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. Okay, anyone wants to share? Just 30 seconds. Okay, so in the absence of that, I want to say again, thank you, and see you at our next event. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe we can make this quarterly. We're very busy. If you're happy, I'm going to send the survey to inform the approach that we will take in other programs. So thank you so much. Have a lovely evening or day or morning or everything. So enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you, Celia, for joining all the way from US.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.